we have panel discussion by Vinay Agarwal, Aditya Soni, and Apurva Bhandari. So feel free to post your question as it will be a free side chat session. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Savita, for introduction. So good day to all. Very good day from wherever we are saying like right now live. I'm wishing you stay healthy and safe 2021. I wish everyone is doing good right now. Hi, so this side is Vinay, currently working with IBM ISL as a cloud developer. With me today, Aditya, he's working with a Red Hat, and Apurva, which is he's working with ThoughtWorks. Sorry for that. We're as a DevOps engineer. So very thankful to the OSCONF team. So for conducting this 2021, I would say that first OSCONF. So what I liked about this particular OSCONF is the worldwide speakers which share their experience, and it is very useful for us, right? So they share their experience at different domains under the one platform. And this really excites me. So every time we do come up with a panel discussion, okay. So this time also we came with a very hot topic, I would say that, which is going toward right now towards the industry, and that's all about right now GitOps. Okay, so I think many of yeah. So I think, yeah. So many of aware of that about GitOps or may not be. So I'm very native or new to that. So I want Aditya and Apurva with me right now to answer those questions, and I would like to share their experience on that so that other audience can also leverage that. So to start with the very layman question, I would ask to the team right now, what is GitOps? How you can explain very layman or native language to everyone so that they can understand if they want to go ahead with the GitOps in coming time. So Apurva, you can start with about very layman way you can explain what do you mean by GitOps, and then Aditya you can explain that.
Aditya, you gonna go on first?
No, you go first.
So GitOps. So first of all, if you look at the terms, you are able to know that it is related to some Git and operations. So you will think like already DevOps is there. There are a bunch of tools in the market already. There are a lot of tools for CI/CD. Then why GitOps came in picture? And why do I need to go and learn some new tools that I can help the ecosystem? That is the first question in each and every one's in mind. And why should I go for the GitOps? So basically, GitOps is in layman terms operation with the Git. Developer will commit the code, and rest of the things will happen through the Git. I don't want to go with the tools like Jenkins, but obviously I'm using the Jenkins for CI/CD. But sometimes if I want to separate out those stuff like CI different and CD different, how I can go or how I can do with the minimum number of set of tools and minimum number of operations on the Git. Aditya, you want to go and explain much more about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so this is a great pitch by you, Apurva. So basically, as you said, like Git is nothing but GitOps is nothing but we use Git as a source control tool. Yeah, that's all right about the GitOps. So in GitOps, what we do is like we use the Git as a major, I can say, single source of truth. Okay, so the Git will be your single source of truth. And let's suppose you have a team, and in your team there are working lots of engineers. Like there can be software development, there can be QA engineers, there can be DevOps. But as you said, like you are using Jenkins for CI/CD, then why to move to GitOps? Yeah, this is the main question is arising in every IT guy, or I can say any ops person now. So basically, when you use Jenkins or anything, then you have to do a push-based pipeline. Okay, so that will be triggered by an event. But when you move to the GitOps purpose, so there will be push-based and pull-based also. So GitOps actually works on the, I can say, operators. Okay, so that operator will monitor your current stage and it will check the desired state. Okay, so let's suppose you have something, you have changed the image tag. Let's suppose you've changed the image tag, and that should be replicated in your environment, so that you can do easily with that particular operator that is automated actually. Yeah, that's pretty much about GitOps.
Okay, so I could say it is more around like it is supporting to cloud native applications that I'm
Yeah.
deploying in my microservices.
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
GitOps
So
is made for the applications that are written like the declarative configurations actually. Okay.
hmm.
So if there's a infra that is written by the code, so that is much preferred to be GitOps. Use GitOps
Yeah,
there.
yeah, but I have a certain set of tools like Jenkins or GitLab CI or Travis CI in place where I have hosted a type of services and that I can use easily. Why should I go for the GitOps one? If all the sets and all the stables tools are there in my current environment, why should I go for GitOps?
Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, when you say like I have already my DevOps in place, why should I go for GitOps? Yeah, because see, GitOps is nothing. We are not replacing the DevOps. Your DevOps will be there, but what we're doing is we are just what I can say. The DevOps will be there. We are just creating a more layer on top of it, and that
Okay,
will be for your CD purposes. So
okay,
GitOps mainly used for the continuous delivery purposes. Okay, so your as you said like my Jenkins and everything that will be there, but we will just replace the tool name like as you are using Jenkins now. So in GitOps, you have to use the Jenkins X. So as you are using their Helm, so there is a Helm GitOps tool, another there. So there's a ArgoCD, there's a FlugCD. Yeah, you can use another tools instead of previous one. So it's like your DevOps will be there. It's not like we are just replacing the DevOps. That is not possible.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So one more thing, like if I'm integrating with my current CI, is there any more challenges or learning curves, or there any who has huge knowledge to integrate GitOps in my current day-to-day flow for CI/CD, or is it easier one?
Yeah, it is easier one actually. That's no like there is no more effects, or I can say there is no more hands-on you have to do to replicate your current infra that is ongoing. So
Okay.
previously, what you were doing, you are using Jenkins for the CI tool. So it basically create an image for you. Let's suppose a current environment. So it will create an image for you. Just build it and just give you the image. Okay. So now you are deploying it by Jenkins itself. But there you when you're deploying it for the continuous delivery, so there can be some downtime there, so it gives some time. You have to just always replicate it or something like that. But when you will just use the GitOps approach there, so the Jenkins will be there, but at the code level, so your configurations will be on the Git, on the particular Git, and from the Git you will just sync the particular operator and to the Git, Kubernetes, so that will be deployed there.
Okay, we have Gaurav. Gaurav do not have DevOps background, but he's a developer. He's a cloud native application developer. From developer perspective, I need to understand like why again GitOps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I think
again, yeah, great question.
What
I
is
think
the
currently when
questions
we
are in your mind, Gaurav?
I do have
If you heard
experience
about
with
GitOps.
Git. So I do have experience with Git. So the addition that I see that I may not have to learn something new that is coming out of my plate. That is one thing. So I still live and survive in the same ecosystem that I have been used to, Git. But at the same time, even I have this question. So let's say if I'm trying to set up a CI pipeline that uses our GitHub tools and everything that you have in your plate, how do you manage your secrets? We had secrets configuration in Jenkins at least. I don't know how do you manage it in GitOps.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically in GitOps, what you have to do, like as you said, like you are from the developer background. So let me first
Yeah.
answer the Apurva question. That is for how it's be benefit to the developer person, and then I will come to your answer. Okay. Then so basically, as Apurva you said, like how it will beneficial for the developer perspective. So in IT we have like in terms, if I can say, then there's a software development team, there's a DevOps, and now the new terms coming in the SRE. So there's a site reliability engineering. So basically what they do, they just handle the application code itself, and they also handle the ops team, like they handle the ops work also. So on that perspective, why we are moving to DevOps to SRE, that also includes the GitOps. So basically now that developer also like the from as he do commit on the application code. Okay, so the application code start the Jenkins pipeline yours. Okay, so as the same thing, he can just upload the configurations or the I can say Kubernetes manifest file over the Git itself. Okay, so that will be updated there, and from that it will just go to routed in your particular environment. Okay, so that's
Right.
how your developer also can I can say simulate there or can contribute there. Okay, so the next question about the Gaurav. So basically, as you said, like how we can manage the secrets over the GitOps. Okay, so in GitOps, as there are lots of tools available. So there's a ArgoCD, there's a FluxCD, there's a Helm operator. So when you will do deployments by that tools, okay. So as we do now in because in GitOps, what you have to do, you have to just you gonna deploy the deployments file from that particular Git
Right.
repo to the environment, whatever environment you have. Okay, so as previously you was using the because it will be synced with your Kubernetes cluster, so you can use the Kubernetes secrets over there. Okay, so you can manage your secrets over the Kubernetes secrets. Okay, so what we do. Let me give you an example for it. Let's suppose your Jenkins is in place and you want to deploy after like any commits coming to your particular branch, and then your manager will pull accept it, and that will be merged to your main branch, and then the trigger will be start. Okay, so now let's get this flow. Okay, so now there are secrets available in your YAML files, as you said. Okay, so you will just point that secret to the Kubernetes cluster. So when it will trigger that to the particular Kubernetes cluster, so we have tools like ArgoCD and all. So ArgoCD is basically for the continuous delivery tool. Okay, that I will explain in my next session. Okay, so in that tool, that is synced with your cluster. So when it will check like there's a secret available inside your Kubernetes cluster particular. So it will just check it with by the cluster itself. Okay, so you can just write the YAML files there to create a secret there or to just manage it. Or instead of you don't want to do it at the deployment side, then you can do at the Jenkins level also. There are you can store the secrets in particular what I can say. There's a secret store also there, so you can store there, and yeah, you can just replace at the deployment time.
Okay.
Okay.
In order to give more insight about the Gaurav's question from the developer perspective, how I can manage config map and secrets. So most probably when the word comes in picture GitOps, I have everything is there in my root directory of the code. So in my root directory, I will have my Helm charts to deploy the code. I have Docker files in place. I have code in the place, and those are means whatever starting from the development to deploy, all the things will be there in my root folder or the code directory of the Git repo itself. And from there, this action will get thrown. So if I want to manage the config map or secret kind of stuff, I may have to use the wall type of concept, or I can keep my secrets and config map in my Helm charts, or I can directly access those config map and secret which are already deployed in my cluster, Kubernetes cluster. So again, if I go back to the term GitOps, why GitOps in place? So what I will do, I can use the CI for building of my image, and what GitOps will do, whether it is a FluxCD, whether it is ArgoCD or whatever tools, whether it is Jenkins CD, Jenkins X, what it will do, it will sense your code. Whatever we are doing with the help of hooks, same kind of like Jenkins hooks, where if I raise the PR, it will and PR is approved, then it will start doing your CI cycle. Same stuff GitOps is working. Like GitOps is sensing the changes in your deployment file, not in your code. Okay, so once my Jenkins has been done with my build, what Jenkins will do, Jenkins only promote or push my image name to my Helm charts. So again, at the same time, my GitOps operator or GitOps is pointing to my deployment YAMLs, and it will sense my the new image is in picture. So I need to deploy this application in my cluster. So there are like a couple of things where how I can restrict or control those deployments in my cluster. I can control whether I want to deploy that image in my cluster or not. That I can control. Or if I want to promote my image, what does mean by promotion of the image? I have built my image. Now I am deploying that image into Dev cluster. Now I want to deploy same image in my UAT. And once the UAT is done, maybe I want to promote it to the pre-prod and prod. So here you are saving the build time, right? You are only building the image at once, and you are promoting that image into multiple environment. These issues, these scenarios, I cannot go with the traditional way of CI/CD like Jenkins or Travis or GitLab runners. That I cannot go. Okay, so this type of issues that I can handle with the help of GitOps. And I think Soni Aditya will show those some kind of scenarios in his session.
Yeah.
I think Gaurav has a clear idea about how GitOps works.
I know some bits and pieces only. I'm just kind of learning as a noob. I would say.
Yeah.
So in the experts, I'm the noob that will going to ask dumb questions for sure. So let's
Definitely, I
take an
think
example about. So I was looking into Azure ARM templates recently, and what I saw that what they're doing is they have some certain. So let's say they have an example repository where anyone can submit sample Azure templates, and what they do is they run some CI pipeline, and then they try and deploy it on an Azure instance. So what I'm trying to understand is connecting to that Azure instance will definitely require you to have some kind of authentication. How does GitOps takes care of such authentication? We have talked about configurations and secrets, but authentication is a totally different mess.
Yeah, so I should answer, or Apurva, you're going?
No, yeah, Aditya, you can go.
Yeah, so yeah, sure. So basically, for the authentication part, so as you are saying, like you are using Azure and there's a template available, and by the template, you just the template actually deploy a code in particular instance, Azure instance, right?
Correct.
That I understand.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So we are on the same page. So basically, when you do the authentication part, so there must be in Azure something kind of rules like we use in AWS. So because I'm not too much aware of the Azure, but there can kind of something rules or something like that. So you can create a rule particular, and you are just deploying that particular template to the particular instance. In the same way, if I compare with the GitOps approach, then what it's happening, like as I said, like it's continuous deployment too, and it will let me tell you example of the ArgoCD because I'm much aware of it. So how it handles with the authentication part. So basically, there must be your Kubernetes cluster. So your code will be there, but to communicate to that particular code by the what I can say through the cluster. Okay, so because you want to deploy that code to the cluster or the cluster as same, we can see the node is the instance. Okay, so if you want to do that, so you have to just create the configurations there, and for that you have to just because I will more show you in the demo next session, but there is something like that. We have to give the Kubernetes SVC. Okay, so there you have to connect your particular cluster, which cluster you want to deploy this particular thing. Okay, and you can deploy your ArgoCD on the top of same cluster. You can just create a namespace there, and you can just deploy the ArgoCD there. Then there is no need to use the authentication part there. But let's suppose if your cluster is somewhere else, then you have to use the configs there. So that by that config map, you have to add that to the GitOps, and by that it will get the permission to deploying stuff on Kubernetes on that particular default another cluster.
So
Okay.
I think we have a good question coming in from one of our attendees. Can we use GitHub Actions in GitOps?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just creation of the image. If you use like CI tools, and that CI is creating a GitHub action again, your GitHub action is again replacing your Jenkins or CI pipeline, and you can add GitHub action as your CI cycle, and after that it will push your image tag to your deployment files.
And we also
Okay.
actually have a good question coming in. How can I use GitOps if I'm doing deployments on nodes directly without having Kubernetes? Let's say if they are running maybe VMs or maybe just using Docker as such.
Okay. Yeah. On that time also. Yeah. On that
I'm
time
not
also.
sure, but because I mostly work with FluxCD and ArgoCD GitHub type of solution, where it is supporting to Helm charts or deployment YAML, KSONet or JSONet type of deployment stuff, and it is directly deploying into Node. I really need to look into whether it is supporting to my monolithic or standalone application which is deployed in my VMs.
Cool. Nice question. I
Okay.
mean, you gave us some food for thought.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think, hi guys. So I think how it started, I asked very simple question, and that's what I loved about like how we went ahead in the discussion,
Yeah.
right? So we all jumped in all the questions from here, and that is all about Kanu, right? Like so everyone shared their experience in a short time, and we have covered all the topics what we want to do it actually in a single question. So I just asked you what is GitHub. I think we have covered right now all the questions, how it works, what all tools we are using for the GitHub, how it is different from Jenkins, and all those things, right? So I think that basically cover all the questions which you have. So Aditya, do you know like I just want to understand one thing here. What is the flow for the GitHub? If I say like in a one-liner, how we can implement in our current environment? Anyone who want to do that, so what steps he has to follow that in a very short way you can explain that. Okay, what precautions? Also, I would say like what all he needs to do that.
Yeah, sure. So basically, when you say like you want to adopt in your particular environment now, so there must be something I can say. There must be a DevOps team there, and they have there are certain tools there available. Okay. So now, if you want to come with the GitOps, so there is no more things you have to change. It needs only two things. That is two repos. Okay. So two Git repos. So one repo you must have because you have the application code on your Git. Okay. So that repo you have, and the second repo you need for that particular configurations. So configurations about the YAML that you want to actually deploy on the Kubernetes, okay, on the top of Kubernetes. So you need that particular repo there, and you have to put all the YAMLs there. And you can put that by the Jenkins itself, or you can put whatever approach you are using now, okay, because you don't want to change the available approach now, okay. So you can just git push, and you can just push the YAMLs, updated YAMLs here, or you can resync it by the Jenkins itself. There is a command resync, and it will just resync your available infrastructure, okay. So now whenever the code will deployed or code will change, the GitOps operator will sync with your particular Git YAMLs or Git files, I can say, from the commit. Okay. So as the commit, you can check everything on the panel. There's a web UI on the ArgoCD panel, so you can check everything there, like whatever the commits last have done and how it's going, how it's syncing. Okay, so that you can check, and that's how this is the most easy way actually. If you want to
Okay.
just commit a new solution, and yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm hearing a lot about ArgoCD. I think that is the most used tool in GitOps, I would say that. And I think the next talk is around ArgoCD, which I think Aditya is going to cover on that thing.
Yeah.
And that sounds great. Actually, we already has covered a base platform right now to set up what all GitOps to the public right now, so that they can connect more on the ArgoCD. And yeah, so that is the main motto of this panel, right? So I just want to make sure everybody on the same page about GitHub, so that they can connect better in the next talk that we have. So I think I'll take one last question. I think there is a one question. Let me check on that. Can GitOps handle multi-cloud or hybrid cloud? Because I'm hearing lots about this is as we discussed, right? This is more about cloud centric, right? So is it about multi-cloud or hybrid cloud, or I think it is for both?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that can be.
So only what you need to do, you need to configure your cluster with GitOps. GitOps or ArgoCD. That's it. Nothing
Okay.
else.
So it can be used on any cloud platform.
Yeah,
I think that is not bound to be.
Kubernetes endpoints I need to configure at my GitOps, and once cluster is accessible to my GitOps tools, it is easily it can easily deploy your stuff into that particular cluster. So it is not related only with I can use with the particular cloud. You can use with the hybrid cloud or on premises cluster or anything. It should be accessible.
Okay.
That's it. Same kind of like other CI/CD tools.
Yeah, okay. I think that sounds. So I think other questions are around Argo CD, so which I'll delay for the next talk. I think you will be get answered, and we can take it in further. So I would say I'm just this panel discussion we are wrapping around. So I think that was very healthy and very useful discussion over that basically around the GitOps. And I would really thanks to Apurva here, Gaurav, Aditya. To join this discussion and share their experience around GitOps. So we are dropping out from the panel discussion, and I am going to hand over to Aditya to continue over basically over the Argo CD, and he can explain more on that thing. So thanks to the team for having the discussion about GitOps. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Just one last question. What are the other options to the ArgoCD, and why do you want to promote ArgoCD? And why?
There is nothing like I want to promote it. There is lots of
Like
tools available there.
promotions.
There is nothing
No,
like
all
paid
are
promotions
open
also.
source, but I cannot say promotion. But why do you want to choose? Because while looking at the ArgoCD, what I find like multiple advantages over other tools like FluxCD or Jenkins. ArgoCD can give
Yeah, I
the
have
access
answer.
to
I have
tools
answer.
or
Yeah.
users or something like that. You can explain and you can start your talk.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
only
I
answer
think
I have for this, like I have time limit of 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes I can show only one tool. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect, I think.
yeah, that's a sharp answer, Aditya. You have very you have taken very good way actually. So I think yeah, you can continue on that, Apurva. I think it answered your question, or else we can
Okay.
take it in next talk. That will be better. So
Okay.
yeah, thanks,
Okay.
thanks, Gaurav,
Okay.
Apurva.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Yeah. Great, thanks, man.